finances are the hardest, one of the hardest part of campus. Like, you can easily say that you're going to follow a budget, but bro, like, the budget keeps expanding.
Makerere is really huge, and if it's your first time coming in, it's weird. Like,
when you get to the campus space, it's different. The texting is different. Like, the culture of texting is different. The way you text someone who is at campus, you use a meme and they'll get to understand. Right?
You're going to get used to spoiling yourself. If you get used to spoiling yourself, you have to have the same amount of money.
What's the problem with spoiling yourself? Like, okay,
no,
I don't understand.
Spoiling yourself is not bad. But I actually don't know how to ride a bike.
Oh.
I won't lie.
No, that's not.
You need to learn.
That's very interesting.
Hello, welcome to the Tempered Youth Collective. This is yet another episode, and we are covering the Freshers Chronicles. We are going to be sharing some real talk about university life, over city life, if you call it. No PR, just us. Take it off.
Hi there. Hope all is well. If it isn't moving well, let's pray that it works out better. Welcome to the TYC. This is Mary.
I'm Moses. Welcoming back for our viewers, those who missed us. It's been a long journey and we're back. So let's talk about...
It's okay. And I'm Ak. Yeah.
So this episode is basically about 3 different people and 5 different segments. Let's kick it off with the first segment, first of all, as we're talking about the orientation shock. Guys, talk about the orientation of varsity. All the first experiences that you had when they're orienting you into university.
Oh yeah, my orientation story is very crazy. Like, I used the longest route. I don't know if you guys know that route from like Western Gate through Lumumba, then Seas, then Cobhams. So I used to use that route for some good time, like a month, and I didn't know any shortcuts. So if you're coming to Makerere, that might be one of the experiences you'll get firsthand. So it was really crazy until some friend of mine had to like let me know of some shortcuts. Yeah, so that would be my story.
Well, I would say Makerere is really huge. And if it's your first time coming in, it's weird. Like, you can be taken aback. You can get lost. Look at buildings. You look at this route takes you to the other part.
Yeah.
And you be like, oh my God, this is overwhelming. But when you get used to it, you get to know now you become a charm with the routes and everything. Right now, you can't get lost. But at the start, trust me, when they tell you that you're going to maybe Jika, you wonder what's Jika, which route takes me there. But it's a whole roller coaster, I could say. But then you get used and life moves well. But then knowing Makerere really well is the hardest part.
The different buildings of the names are crazy.
Me, I'll talk about, like, someone tells you the guild canteen. You can walk. You're like, bypass the main gate. You can even bypass what the guild canteen area is like.
Yeah.
Like, it makes you wonder about the different parts and how big the campus is. But of course, that orientation work, when you get to know where different things are, you're like, you only know one thing: Freedom Square.
Exactly.
Ivory Tower. Okay. Basically, it's only those things. Yeah. Like, man, that's the building that defines Makerere.
Yeah, the Ivory Tower. Yeah,
the one that got banned.
And
okay, yeah, basically you get to know that. But yeah, like, Freedom Square, they tell you to locate any other college.
You really can't.
You guys. That's very, very difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult. By the way, you should attend orientation as a must. You know, some people be like, oh, orientation isn't important. You'll get lost and you will miss your first lectures, honestly.
And honestly, you land on a teaser, someone will bully you. You ask for the route and they direct you somewhere opposite. And there's nothing you can do.
But of course, one thing about that I realized, you walk into Makerere, you're like this and this, but one thing, everywhere it's a hill.
Yeah, you will have to.
You will sweat. You will sweat. Come on, man. Whatever angle you're going to be taking, whether you're from which gate to which gate, you're going to be sweating.
You're going to sweat.
You appreciate the electric bikes.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, just that they are kind of restrictive when you are using it, you need an ID and stuff like that.
Really?
Yep. Have you ever read it?
I've never.
Okay. So they are kind of restrictive, but they are there.
I've never.
You
know
see,
they're there, but
it's those
never.
restrictions
That
hinder many students from using them.
really?
I actually
Yeah.
don't know how to ride a bike.
Oh,
I won't lie.
No, that's not.
you need to learn.
That's very interesting.
You need to
That's very
learn.
interesting because we know that we come in to campus, we vote through orientation, different people speak to us. Yeah, like you meet different leaders around campus and all that life. So it's a broader picture for people to be out there to get introduced to university life because it's a different piece.
Yeah.
And let's talk about the freedom at campus because people, it's different dynamics and what we're used to. When you look at the campus life and the life that we're having later, the lower stages of education, talk about the freedom, guys.
Freedom. That's such an interesting concept, by the way. I liked the whole coming to campus because of freedom. The freedom. I wake up whatever time I want to. That's number one. Especially if your lectures begin at like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. You can really wake up late. So for me, I enjoy that freedom. I really like going out sometimes. Not like partying and stuff like that, but just having some free time. You know how it is. You just go hang out and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's an interesting concept at campus.
But
I can say.
Okay. What do you have to say about it, Mari?
I would say freedom is a complex word. Like, it's a complex thing. Understanding freedom, using it well, and everything, the package that comes with it is quite difficult. And managing your freedom is also difficult. So it depends on what your definition of freedom is and what you want to use for your freedom, your free time, what you want to do in your free time. So, yeah, freedom is there, but it's not, as they say, because when you're coming to campus, you'd be like, I don't know the kind of imaginations you guys had, but then you feel like, I'm going to campus, I'm going to have a lot of free time, I'm going to do whatever I want, but at some point you find that you're kind of restricted. By the way, books at campus are really serious, more than you thought.
Yeah.
Like, when it reaches exam time, you feel like you're so down. You're bound by something, and that freedom that they always talk about doesn't come out as they always said. People don't talk about the hard part of campus. Actually, they talk about the bad part of campus, but they don't talk about the book part of campus. They'll tell you, campus, you're going to party, your children at campus are going to get spoiled, they're going to go at every place that they feel like, and some parts are not said. So you feel like you don't usually get a full view of campus. So you come with an open mind, with a lot of expectations that you have to zero down as you get to know the system.
Actually, me, I would say the only freedom at Makerere is the freedom square because like books get you to up and down, like you're moving each and every single time. So like you're basically going to this, going to this, going to this. So and you're talking about freedom. The only thing I think is that freedom square is the only place you find freedom at Makerere. But basically campus of course is a defining thing. And when it refers to culture, the culture and the different parts of culture, because after all we came to study, didn't we? Like a culture of university life and the varsity. Okay, talk about the varsity life. I'll open it up to you guys. So what do you think about the culture out there? Social life, the music, the what, and everything.
Well, let me first digress from what you said, that the only freedom is the freedom square.
Yeah.
You guys, we actually have freedom. Like, you really do have freedom. Just that it comes to the mindset. It comes back to the mindset when someone has, an academic centered, okay, not exactly academic, people who want to achieve, they're like, okay, I'll prioritize my lectures and stuff like that. But then these people, like, you can spend a month without studying.
You actually just have to plan your way out, like plan how you want to live your life.
Exactly. I remember there was a quote they told us when we were being oriented. Makerere can either be a vineyard or a graveyard. So the choice is definitely yours. Yeah, the freedom is really there.
The freedom is there. Freedom is there, like we've seen actually, but
Yeah.
now I'll tell you, the books are real also.
Books
are really on Makerere.
yeah.
But guys, going on to the culture still, there are different cultures. We even study with different students of different culture here at varsity. And let's get to it and talk about the social life, the music, and whatever we get through this at university.
University life. The first culture at university is the way.
Yeah.
Makerere.
Yeah, that's the Makerere culture. And
Okay.
I really had a hard time adjusting to those ways. Whoa, it felt, I don't know even how to explain it. It was overwhelming for me. It was annoying at some point. And when it came to the campaigns, I felt like, damn, I'm really done. Like, it wasn't a great experience for me at first. But then when you get used to it, you feel like it's normal, it's culture.
Okay.
You're used to it, and at some times you even reply to that way. I couldn't reply at first. I was like, man, these men
Really?
this is a lot.
They're doing
But
too
then,
much.
but then you get used and you're like, okay, yeah, that's cool. It's culture.
It's culture.
You move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone called the Wewe like the Oba raising up ancestral spirits. It's like an enchanting or something, So
And actually, if you ever go to a space where there is someone who went to Makerere, you find that at some point they are going to do a way.
Yeah, it's the culture. By the time we leave,
whether people around understand it or not, they are going to do it.
That's so true.
Yeah.
For me, the culture I've seen, Makerere is a home of creatives. Like, I love the creative part about Makerere. Everything, like the artists, the singers, like it's such an encompassment of all kinds of creatives. The scientists, those ones who are so good at, math and everything. Then we have our creatives, the sportsmen, the sports teams. Yeah, I just love that culture about Makerere.
Okay.
And then the social part. I think this university is one of the few where you can easily socialize. Like, it's so easy to socialize. How many conferences do we have in like a year?
Yeah, there are very many.
So many. So you just decide that, you know what, I'm tired of just attending, but socializing, you can easily just attend one free of charge, get to talk to some people, and
I have a different view of that. I feel like it's not easy to socialize just like that, like going to a conference and you get to talk to people. It's actually hard to talk to someone. Like, okay, you're going to go into that space, you're going to enter the conference, you're going to see the people, but most of the times there is no time for you to have a good conversation. And just by saying a hi, hello to someone doesn't mean that you're socialized. They are now your friends. And
what? No. What do you understand?
What do you understand?
What by socializing? I think,
like,
you give us
socializing for me. If you ever meet someone like I meet you. If I say a hi, hello, definitely after a month you won't even know me when you find me somewhere.
But we socialize. Like that's the whole point.
I feel
of
like the
socializing.
socializing part should be if I meet you, like we have something impactful that even though we don't, by the way, most people make a mistake of hi, hello, give me your number. And that is it. But I feel like that doesn't make the connection. Like that person, you reach texting the person, you don't know what to talk about. You can't click well. So I feel like having those, like an important, the opening conversation is what will make the bond. It's not useful for you to say a hi, hello to someone and the next day you can't talk to them. That for me doesn't make
Let me first ask Magic a question.
Okay.
Do you like, should every connection bring a certain bond? Every social connection?
I feel like for me to say that I know someone, you should be able to identify me at some point when we are somewhere, and we should be able to talk about something, anything, but we should be able to talk. Like, we should be able to recognize each other.
Wow.
But not rather than saying, oh, well, I know that face. Where did I see that person? And then the next thing you do is another hi, hello. And that is the end of it. You guys,
Okay.
that's it for me.
Like I told the guys, it's
New knowledge for me.
three different people, three different perspectives.
Okay.
But guys, still, because you guys have mentioned the way you mentioned the different cultures at campus.
Yeah.
Like basically, let's talk a little bit politics. So we
Politics.
need to ask about politics, guys.
Oh wow.
She's a real person. She's a Kanonde person, and like
Yeah.
which is really good.
Mm.
So varsity and we've been in different groups. You saw that campaign period.
Yeah.
But the culture, like people interacting in different political spaces. So, but we are in harmony and we are enjoying that. You're having people of different supporting groups and people are enjoying all that. So, talk about that, guys. Talk about it and what makes college very interesting.
Wow. I don't know if you guys have experienced that high, but there is a high that comes with sharing the same political views. So I rode that high. You know, when I met Kadondi, Her Excellence, okay. Yeah, when she was campaigning, there was that energy around her. And everyone was supporting her, almost carried the same energy. So it wasn't even about the views because they shared the same views. They all brought forward similar manifestos. So for me, it was the energy, the crew, the K4G crew had. So it's what drove me. And it's exciting.
Okay.
It's like unity. Yeah, we just do it. Once it ends, it's done.
Okay.
We move on to the next.
We'll move on to the next.
Yeah.
Okay. But let me also go down to a better part of socializing. We get into our class groups, we get into all that. And there are those moments where we're having very funny memes in examination period. And you're like wondering what this is about campus. And guys, aren't you tell every single person, no, we share different perspectives about memes. Describe one particular that gets to you when that examination period comes by. You're like, okay, this one. That particular meme just got to me because it's interacting with different people when these things come out, they help you be human and then like you're living the stress. You're like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm reading, but yeah, this is real and this is very fun.
Yeah.
Well, for me, the memes are like, okay, you're not the only one who has seen this. You're not the only one finding difficulty reading books. You're not the only one finding difficulty in concentration. Like, they just connect to the moment. You could say, I remember there was some hard paper we went into. And then after us coming out, someone was like, wow, the lecturer was making a revenge over his projector. And you're like, damn, I thought I was the only one who thought this. But yeah, like it gives the connection and it gives some kind of comfort that you're not the only one who found it hard. So you're definitely normal. Yeah. For me, I feel like that is
memes actually keep us relatable, and it's just like the normal life, the normal campus drill and stuff like that.
The reason that's why I mentioned them, because when you get to the campus space, it's different. The texting is different. Like the culture of texting is different. The way you text someone who is at campus, you'd use a meme and they'll get to understand that. Yeah. But when you text to someone who is not at campus, they'll not pick up that. So that's why I'm mentioning that. So the culture around the communication is different.
Yeah, definitely.
We communicate through the memes, we communicate through the social media part. Someone will ask you, have you put this in AI? Back then, we were like, I don't think this guy will even mining about the AI and all that stuff. But this time around, you're like, it's everything is AI.
All right.
Communication.
Oh, yeah. Now you've spoken about AI. Let's share about the impact AI has had on campus. In your year one, how has AI been helpful? What are the pros and cons?
You could think AI is an angel. Your knight in shining armor.
Really?
Well, it saves you some moments. But, okay, AI is good. We should embrace it. But I feel like the overdependence is the bad thing. At some point, you lose your thinking capacity. You can't really think. You get something and you're like, okay, this is hard. If you don't get like a first answer from your brain and you feel like, I don't understand this question, but like, what do they want? You don't waste your time thinking trying to guess the thing. You just put in AI and you get everything that you need, get the answers, get the meaning of the question, get whatever is needed, and that is it. Full stop, go to the other thing. So it minimizes your thinking capacity. But other than that, if you're not so dependent on it, AI is good.
If finance depend, well, I feel like most of my courses have been taught to me by AI, like actual understanding, because a lecturer comes, gives you some PDFs, some explanations, but when you break it down using AI, it's really important, and it has helped me understand. I genuinely don't know how people from other years were able to study without AI.
They use the library.
Library.
But the thing about AI, it gives you a summary, quick understanding thing, but it doesn't give you the deep things, you know? So you understand the surface. You get to know the surface of whatever is happening.
It does break it down.
Unless you're someone who knows how to question it well.
Now, that's exactly what I wanted to get to, actually.
Okay.
You know, I feel like that part of AI is where Maria was disagreeing with Maria, and she was like, it doesn't get you to think. It's how do you think to formulate a question to ask your AI to reply? Because the way you ask that question, it's give you an answer based on what you've asked. And if you want easier ways done and better ways to get information, right? It's right. You formulate the question. So a question that you formulate to it will give you that information. But how do you formulate the question is one important part.
Prompting.
Our batteries.
AI prompting. Actually, that's like a whole small course which they can teach you. I think you can learn using YouTube how to ask AI the actual questions and break down the different topics.
Okay.
Yes.
So, like, guys, as we're progressing, when we're talking about campus, like, there's particular things I wanted to know. You know, you come to campus, you're very happy, and you're like, I'm going to be receiving more money on campus. Like, basically around that, you're like, guy, now I have the freedom. I'm going to get my money and start paying more for KFC. So let's talk about the finances and how they drive you.
Finances.
You're talking like, I need this. And all of a sudden, you're moving somewhere at campus, and you have no data. Like, you spend money on data.
Oh
like,
my
so
goodness.
let's talk about the finances and everything. How do you spend your money at campus? Because people want to know how you do that.
Finances are the hardest, one of the hardest part of campus. Like, you can easily say that you're going to follow a budget, but bro, like, the budget keeps expanding. Now you've spoken about data. Data itself needs a whole budget. You're like, okay, for this month, I need this money for data. Data management. You print notes, which I don't do because I have AI. So, like, you print notes, even just like expenditures, like food, necessities. It's a whole, I feel like for freshers, the budget should really be big. You need some good money to stabilize at campus. But once, not like semester 2, finances were easier to handle because we have now settled in, you have most things. But at the start, it was hectic.
Well, finances, you have to learn financial management, like financial discipline. If not that, what Ak is saying that you have to have like quite a good amount of money doesn't work. Because if you start with a good amount of money, you're going to get used to spoiling yourself. If you get used to spoiling yourself, you have to have the same amount of money.
What's the problem with spoiling yourself? Like, okay,
No,
I don't understand.
Spoiling yourself is not bad. But when you spoil yourself, like real spoiling, not just I'm going out once in a week. Real spoiling, you need to have real good money. If you don't have a source of income and you're depending on your parents, at some point you'll be short on money. So you have to learn how to budget your money quite early so that you don't go into lack. It's not a good thing to have money at the start and then suffer at the end or in the middle. So what you what you have to learn is financial discipline. You have to know if this is the amount of money I'm getting, even though I want this, what can I sacrifice? What is my priority? What can put hold? What can I put to hold? So that your money really flows as it is supposed to flow.
Yeah. Another thing I would add on to that would be to open a savings account. The moment they give you money, first take like 50%, throw it there. Yeah, first save it.
Let me tell you something about saving. I was listening to someone. I think they are a financial advisor. And the person said, if you're saving for the wrong reason, then your savings don't amount to anything.
Of course.
You should have an emergency fund first before you start saving. Because the moment you say that I'm saving this, an emergency is going to come. You never know what emergency is coming.
Yeah.
So that emergency will come. And whatever you've put in the savings is what you're going to remove, put in the emergency. So will you have any savings?
You won't.
No.
You won't.
Actually, you see, guys are talking about the economy of a fresher, but missing out some particular things. Yeah? That Rolex guy keeps guys hooked on food. Like, you see, Chikoni, one day, everywhere. There's that particular slot where you're going to be enjoying your particular Rolex at campus. Like, So, guys, I'm talking about food, but I'm wondering, I'm not broadening about it.
Food.
Got to eat.
Such an important concept.
Very important. Yeah. So, guys, when you do your finances, the food, the data, the what? Okay, let's say what takes the biggest percentage, what next, and what's the other?
If your accommodation is covered, the first thing that should take priority is food. Well, you can't live well when you're hungry. You can't feed pigs. You can't be happy when you're hungry.
Yeah.
So I feel like the biggest part of the budget goes to food.
Okay.
Then the other things you need data. You have to budget for your data. You can do the other things, but give your biggest percentage to food unless you're ready to starve.
Lunch is a mindset.
I know, but actually, there's some other thing we wanted us to talk about that's critically very important, and we're talking about it on various episodes of this, various segments of this episode, and also in the podcast. Let's talk about the mental health and that topic where people are not very comfortable talking and sharing about it at campus. People are to themselves, people are to their music, to their beats, and they don't talk freely about the mental health and what drains you at campus.
Well, campus is so draining. Like the social part, the academics, friends, relationships, they're all draining. And trust me, at some point, you hit a break. Yeah. But the most important thing would be to know that this is just temporary.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, there are some people who like get depressed at campus. It's so easy. But I would say, if you're depressed, don't stay alone. Like, find someone to talk to. Makerere has counselors, the safety guards. Yeah, even us, if you see us around campus, we shall be open to have you. Yeah, just sharing whatever you're going through is like half solving the problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we talk about mental health and opening up to someone, but I think we ignore the hardest part. The hardest part is the actual opening up, who to open up to. Because before you open up to someone, if you're going through something, you consider a lot of things. You don't just come out of the blindly be like, okay, this is what is happening to me. If you have ever tried to open up to someone, you know the kind of process that happens in your head, just your head. You feel like, can I trust this person? When they tell the other person, is it safe? When they look at me the other way, when they judge me, so it takes a whole lot process, a lot of work for you to open up to someone. So mental health is still a big thing. And as we tell people to open up, we should consider the things that they go through before they start opening up.
So for our last segment here for this episode, this time around, if you could go back to the first day at campus, the first day you were at campus, what's that particular advice you'd give to your August self? Because I guess we get to campus in August. So what's that particular advice you'd give to yourself or you give to someone who's joining campus as a fresher?
Number one advice would be trust your gut. Yeah. They give us so much advice, but at the end, it comes down to how you're feeling. Your gut feeling will save you from so much. So much. Like, I'm talking scammers, I'm talking ill friendships, whatever. So yeah. Follow your intuition.
Well, for me, you've said the advice I give myself, my August self. I have no advice. I be like, go for it, girl. Because you never know what is coming. Like, you guys, if I tell you the kind of expectations I had, like, there is nothing you could tell me until you reach that place, see the experiences and whatever comes with it. It's hard for you to zero down to this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do, and this. So you just go for it. Like me, I'll tell Marie, just go for it. Whatever comes, things change. By the way, you could have expectations, budget something. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do this. But then things change along the way. Changes happen. So you just come, do the adjustments to whatever fits for you, right? Whatever is going to give you the right thing that you need. You adjust with life. But then you just come do that thing if you need it. That is it.
Well, me, I would say be curious, but be strategic also. You go out there into this world.
Yeah.
Go there and explore, learn, and go for what gets you better and what gets you to your maximum achievement. Because everyone has that maximum potential they have to hit. But are you going to hit it when you're not curious and strategic? So that's what I have to offer there.
Well, it has been an insightful one. I've learned so much. And I know our audience, you too, have learned. So thank you very much for watching this episode. We hope to see you again. Please follow our channel, subscribe, comment. We leave an email just in our description. Hope you can send us some feedback, or if you want us to have you anything. We thank you so much for just the support. We love you. TYC, and we are out.